Estate and antique jewelry are some of the most beautiful and best value pieces of jewelry you can show a customer. Every single piece tells its own story. Estate jewelry does take a bit more knowledge to be able to sell. The biggest difference in being able to sell estate and only being able to sell some pieces of estate is knowledge of the eras in estate jewelry. Every single era represents not just a style, but the way things were made. As you learn more about each era, you can learn the story, and in doing so, learn how to romance each piece from the date of manufacture, the style, and what people were like when they wore them. Georgian era, 1704 to 1837. The Georgian era, spanning from 1714 to 1837, is named after the 4 British kings named George who reigned successively. Jewelry from this period is rare and highly prized, characterized by its intricate handcrafted detail. Motifs inspired by nature, such as leaves and birds, were prevalent. Georgian jewelers often used 18K gold and silver, setting their pieces with precious stones like diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, and rubies in closed-back settings. The craftsmanship was impeccable, with a focus on elegance and symmetry. Victorian era, 1837 to 1901. The Victorian era, named after Queen Victoria, is divided into 3 periods. The Romantic period, 1837 to 1860, the Grand period, 1861 to 1880, and the Aesthetic period, 1880 to 1901. Early Victorian jewelry featured intricate designs with flowers, hearts, and birds, symbolizing love and sentimentality. Mid-Victorian pieces, influenced by Queen Victoria's mourning of Prince Albert, were darker and more solemn, with heavy use of jet, onyx, and black enamel. The late Victorian or Aesthetic period saw a return to lighter, more whimsical designs, with an emphasis on diamonds and precious gemstones. Art Nouveau and 1890-1910. Art Nouveau jewelry, popular between 1890 and 1910, broke away from the traditional styles of the past, emphasizing free-flowing lines and natural forms like flowers, insects, and birds. This era is known for its artistic creativity and use of new materials and techniques. Enamel work, especially the plique jour technique, was prominent, creating a stained glass effect. The Art Nouveau movement celebrated craftsmanship and beauty, resulting in pieces that were both artistic and wearable. Edwardian era, 1901 to 1915. The Edwardian era, named after King Edward VII, is known for its elegance and sophistication. Jewelry from this period was characterized by delicate designs, often using platinum for the first time to create intricate lace-like patterns. Diamonds and pearls were the main focus, set in ways that emphasized their sparkle and luster. The garland style inspired by the French court was popular, featuring bows, ribbons, and floral motifs. Art Deco, 1920s, 1930s. The Art Deco period, spanning the 1920s and 1930s, is perhaps one of the most influential times in jewelry design. Marked by bold geometric shapes, vibrant colors, and exotic influences, Art Deco jewelry mirrored the optimism and technological progress of the era. Materials such as diamonds, onyx, coral, and jade were commonly used, set in platinum or white gold. The style was both modern and sophisticated, reflecting the glamour and decadence of the time. Retro, 1935 and 1950. The retro era, which spanned from 1935 to 1950, is characterized by bold, elaborate designs reflecting the Hollywood glamour of the period. Jewelry pieces were large and colorful, with an emphasis on gold and semi-precious stones like citrine, aquamarine, and topaz. The designs often featured motifs of bows, ribbons, and flowers, with a focus on volume and movement. Each of these periods in the history of estate and antique fine jewelry showcases the evolution of design, materials, and techniques. Collectors and admirers of fine jewelry continue to be captivated by the stories these pieces tell, appreciating their beauty and the glimpse they offer into the past.